Hello to every single one of you out there in internet land. I am Dan Selcke. This is Daniel Roman. We are Take the Black. Together, we are Take the Black, where we cover all things fantasy, sci-fi, movies, and TV. And we are back, as usual, with a full, fun, educational, edutational show for you. Hey, Morrison. Hey, Margaret. Hey, Martha. Hey, Andrew. Before we start, I just want to mention, just because it's obvious, so yesterday I had surgery on my lower right eyelid. There's a little bump there. It's a little bruised, a little bad, it's a little bloody. And just, Daniel, I know that your hobby is to make fun of people who recently had surgery, but I don't want any guff from you. Keep it classy. True. Like, don't call me, hatchet face. Don't call me scalpel boy. Don't call me herpy lid. Just whatever comes to your head, just suppress it. And then scream it into your pillow later, okay? Is that cool?
Okay, I think that's good. I will keep any and all comments to myself, which is good because I'm feeling a little slow today. So I don't want to be coming up with insults on the fly. I'm just glad that it seems like it went well. Seems like you're okay. And you're here to talk about nerd stuff again today.
Here. It went well. And thank you, Martha. Just glad you were here. I will say I had surgery. This is the second of 2 styes I've had in as many months. I had surgery on the other one a couple of months ago. It grew back. I had to get a shot for that one. So this time, this is going to take. I've had a lot of styes, not my entire life, and then just styes out the wazoo for months. But okay, we're here to talk about fun nerd stuff. It's not kidding. Yes. It was a coincidence. I asked the doctors, like, is this, how did this happen? And they're just like, it just like coincidence. Like, you did.
It happens.
Obviously, you're agree.
Coincidence, like being born of Targaryen blood.
Nice.
How's that for a segue?
Excellent. We will start the show, as we often do, by visiting Westeros. Glad you're here as well, Andrew. Good to see everybody. As always, they're filming House of the Dragon, so there's fun new things to kind of peek in at. By far the biggest on-set reports that we got in the past couple of days, the past week, is this shot from filming in Wales, where we think we might be looking at the Dragonseeds. Daniel, who are the Dragonseeds in the context of House of the Dragon, based on the novel Fire and Blood by George R. R. Martin?
Yeah, so some mild spoilers here, I guess. Probably, if you've been watching this show, this isn't going to be spoilers for you, because we've talked about this plenty of times. But so basically, during the Dance of the Dragons, Rhaenyra and the Blacks realize they have more dragons than they have riders. So they want to put out a call saying, if you can come and tame a dragon, ride a dragon, and fight for us, we'll make you a lord or a lady and give you lands and titles. And the Dragonseeds are basically the hopefuls who turn out to try and claim dragons. And the reason they're called Dragonseeds is because a lot of them either claim or think or are believed to have various Targaryen blood. So they're bastards. They have various sordid origins, or they're just mysterious, trying to claim these dragons. So that's the gist. This is basically the how to train people trying to get dragons next season. But it's a big deal. They're big characters in Fire and Blood.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, good.
House the Dragon season 2, How to Train Your Dragon. No copyright infringement intended, but celebrated.
Westeros edition.
And we have here 4 folk who, to be fair, this could be a picture of 4 people on a hill. It's possible. But it seems like just the way they're framed, the way they're moving around, the way they've been on set, we think it's more important than that. So we have, left to right, the 4 Dragonseeds. So some of these actors fans have identified because they're brilliant. Some they haven't. But it looks like we're looking at, so that's actor Parker LePain on the far left. Next to her is Kieran Bew, who we think is playing a character named Hugh Hammer. Not as given name, probably, but you pick up things when you hammer enough stuff over a period of
Hugh
life. Hugh the Hammer, whatever. Yes. And I believe he rides Vermithor, who is the dragon that Daemon visited at the end of the first season, who belched a lot of fire in that mysterious, let me sing a lullaby to a dragon scene. He's a big burly dude, so that's why we think that one. The best one is the third person from the left, the dark-skinned woman. Now, we don't know who that actor is. No one's been able to suss that out, at least. There's a character named Nettles who they have to use because she's just such a great character.
Yes.
Who is the only Dragonseed who like doesn't really have the blonde hair. She might just be a complete rando who manages to bond with a dragon, even though she has no Targaryen blood, which is just a great, great story. She kind of bonds with this dragon called Sheepstealer by giving him sheep to eat, and eventually he trusts her. I love that. I love kind of things that puncture kind of this bubble of propriety that the Targaryens have around them, that royals in general have around them. So she would be really, really fun.
Yeah.
And again, that might be her because, I mean, she's described as a dark-skinned girl who lives on Dragonstone, so it looks like it, but we're not sure. But I would bet some money that that's her. And finally, a dude on the very end. Same. They think that's actor Liam O'Kenden, might be playing Ulf the White or Ulf Sot. And by the way, the Dragonseeds, even though they might be of Targaryen lineage, they're all peasants. They're all bastards. They're all like people who were just kind of, you know, sometimes Targaryens get lonely and then they go out to the local villages and they have some fun and then they make Dragonseeds. And Ulf the White or Ulf the Sot is a drunk. And again, that might be him. It might be the actor on the far left, might be a Jennifer version. We're not sure. We're probably looking at the Dragonseeds, and I'm just looking forward to it. It's a fun story, and I really want them to bring in these other characters to mess around with the established, more hoity-toity, more up there, more grandiose ones. What happens when you give random people off the street dragons or nuclear weapons? Like that's the story we're seeing here.
Yeah.
And it gets kind of crazy and fun.
Which is so compelling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's such a compelling story.
Thank you, Divine, by the way. That
really
is a good rundown.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you, Divine. Yeah, I'm very hopeful that they're going to do this well because the Dragonseeds are it is one of the, I don't want to say the best parts because the dance has lots of great parts, but it's a notable piece of the Dance of the Dragons. And it's one that, like you said, because it does flip convention. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it flips the conventions on their head so much that it is an important thing to have in there. So having characters like Nettles would be great. So Hugh the Hammer and Ulf White, Hugh Hammer.
I like calling him Ulf the Sot because that means he's drunk. I think that's the funniest one, but he has many names.
That's perhaps the most descriptive. But yeah, they're important. They do important stuff, and the show could finagle it without them, but we're seeing shots like this. It makes us really hopeful that they're going to include those characters, especially Nettles.
She's so good.
And and so there's one other character or two, I suppose, who are notable among the Dragonseeds, and that's Alan and Adam of Hull. Of Hull, who are bastards who are speculated to be Laenor's children or Corlys Valerian's children, because probably it's well known that Laenor is gay, so they're probably Corlys's. Yeah. And they're notably not in this picture, but we do know who's playing Alan. It's Abubakar Salim from Raised by Wolves. Mm-hmm. Adam, there's been a lot of speculation about whether Laenor was going to take his place in the story. We've been really hoping that won't be the case. And the most recent speculation is that actor Clinton Liberty is going to be playing Adam. And we don't know that for sure, but we do know that Clinton Liberty is on sets in costume filming because we've seen some pictures. Yeah. So, Dan, do you think this is Adam of Hull who we're seeing here?
I mean, I have hope because at least he's someone important, right? Like he's out here in costume. There's shots of them like with the director in different contexts. Obviously, he's playing someone of note, and Adam of Hull is an important character. So I hope it is. Yeah. This mystery is still so weird. Like, why is Laenor back? And like a couple of weeks ago, we saw him on set, John McMillan. Now we have someone playing Adam of Hull. Is Laenor taking back over the role? Is this guy going to do it separately? If they do have Adam Valerian doing the Adam Valerian stuff, why is Laenor there at all? What's he going to do? I don't know. I am nervous, but I hope this guy is playing Adam of Hull. I do wish they'd gone younger, like in the books, but at least he's there.
That's fair.
Because he has a great story. I want
He
I
does.
told you this yesterday. If I were, because sometimes diversions from the books work and sometimes they don't. They changed Viserys, King Viserys, a lot from the book, and it really worked out. It was great. They in the first House of the Dragon, they changed a lot about kind of the way, kind of the aftermath of Viserys's death and how the Greens crowned Aegon. I thought it was really bad. So they had some hits and misses when it came to changes. Is this going to be one of their hits, one of their misses? I don't know, and I'm a little nervous, but I'm also hopeful because they've earned both trust and trepidation.
And yes, yeah, I agree with you on the earning trust and trepidation. I'm hopeful that it's going to be good, but this is, to me, this is one of the biggest questions lingering about the season is what are they going to do with Adam and Alan Hall, and why are they being so coy about it? Because like we've gotten an announcement for Alan, so they've made a conscious decision to not announce Adam of Hall, even though if he's in the they're presumably shooting scenes, however they're navigating it, those scenes are underway right now, so they're keeping it close to the chest, and I find that really curious. And it is, of the things we know about this season, it's the one that I think I'm most nervous about, but also most curious about just what they're gonna do. Because obviously Laenor still being on the board changes things, or has the potential to change things significantly.
We'll find out more later. The Dragonseeds are great, though.
Yeah.
Also, we just have like a fun shot of, movie magic. These some Targaryen or someone with silver blonde hair being followed by men in silly blue spandex suits holding a makeshift dragon head that will be a dragon by the time the SFX puppet is over it. I love shots like this of like behind the scenes. Just, it's good to remind you how deeply silly movie making can look from afar.
Yes, nothing drives it home like a picture like this of two people in blue skin suits holding a giant blue dragon looking head over them. But yeah, that's fun. That's now you know how not the sausage, but how the dragon's made.
Dragon sausage.
Yeah. Cool to get glimpses of it. Divine Sharika has a really interesting comment here. There's a leaked video that's circulated on Twitter showing the Dragonseeds running toward their boats. Could that be a scene involving the cannibal? So the cannibal is one of the 3 wild dragons. So in addition to like Vermithor, who was ridden by King Jaehaerys and is just riderless, there are also some wild dragons who live on Dragonstone, and the Dragonseeds are going to make attempts at them. The cannibal is the nastiest, meanest of the lot. It's named the cannibal because it eats other dragons. So I haven't seen the video, Divine, but that is probably a pretty fair guess. Because if any dragon is going to send a whole bunch of Dragonseeds running, could be the cannibal. I guess depending on the fear of the runners, it could also be the Dragonseeds maybe setting out. If there are a bunch of them together, like setting out to go start their training journey,
battle the gullet. Yeah, could be a lot of things.
Yeah,
we'll definitely look out for more leaks as filming continues.
Absolutely. But yeah, so that's the latest in Westeros. We got some other fun little things like Emma Darcy was in a roundtable interview with a bunch of people, like Melanie Linsky from The Last of Us, Claire Danes, and basically revealed that they talked to Emilia Clarke before filming House of the Dragon, which we did know that, but that Emilia Clarke had told Emma Darcy loads of stuff to prepare them for being in the Game of Thrones universe, and none of which they'd like to share. So keeping those Targaryen family secrets, which I kind of love.
Yeah, that's nice. And also, right now, just in case you're interested, somehow I doubt this is going to be very accessible to many people, including me. But there is currently a charity auction to become an extra on the 2nd season of House of the Dragon. I'll put the link in the chat there on Facebook, and Richard, could you put a copy of that into the YouTube if you would be so kind? Basically, an organization is, got a chance for 2 folk to be extras House 2nd season 2. Films in London in July. Click on that link, check it out. for the low price of over and above whatever the next person who's bidding, you too could be in Westeros. I think the bid was like at over $4,000 when I checked this morning. But hey, you got $5,000 lying around. Put it down. Travel to London on your own expense. Be 21 or older. Bring a friend and get outfitted in fantasy clothes, crazy wig, and get eaten by a dragon or whatever they have you do.
I love that it comes with the warning that there's no guarantee your scene will be actually in the show or not. Which, that's standard filmmaking, but it's still kind of funny, just seeing that in this charity auction thing, just that disclaimer. But yeah, I mean, basically for people who have way too much money, so not me either, but who would like to be in House of the Dragon and would rather, secure their spot that way instead of
I could liquidate some assets.
Happening to live in the area. You could liquidate some assets.
I could sell off some
You've got some dragon eggs to sell.
And raise some money. I have some Fabergé. No, I don't have Fabergé eggs to sell. I could, if I really wanted to, I could try. I don't think I'm going to, though. I need that money
You're gonna start a GoFundMe.
And I'll just lie.
Help me raise this money for charity so I can donate it to charity and also be on House of the Dragon. Okay, thanks.
I shouldn't say this, but also the proceeds go to a place called like the Pledgeling Foundation, which, as far as I can tell, is an organization that sends money to the place where the person chooses. So it's not like an organization that supports a cause in itself. It's like a holding spot for charitable donations. So I don't know where the money's going either. But who cares? You'll get on House of the Dragon. It's probably going somewhere good. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
A GoFundMe for dance.
But yeah, that's the latest in Westeros. Beyond that, we don't have too much new news. Emilia Clarke's in Secret Invasion. She's trolling Kit Harington and saying she got the better Marvel role. Just fun little things like that.
Neither of them got like the tippy top stuff. But
yeah,
she is good for her.
I agree with that. But yeah, what else is up, Dan?
Well, The Witcher season, the third season of The Witcher, third and final season of The Witcher, if you depending on how you look at it, drops tomorrow on Netflix. The Witcher, starring Henry Cavil for one last time as Geralt of Rivia, and Joey Beatty there as Jaskier, who, I'm sorry, it can't be on me. That hair looks bad on him. There's a bad haircut for Joey Beatty. It should be much shorter.
He's in his midlife, Dan. He needs to have bad hair. He's supposed to be like 50 at this point. Doesn't he look 50?
No, he looks like a 30-year-old trying to play 50. And the hair is not helping. Anyway, that's not the point. Fair. The Witcher, the third. Oh, hi, Kitty.
No, it is not. Yes, Coda's crashing the podcast.
Hi, Coda.
As he does.
Hold him up. Oh, look at little guy. Hey, Coda.
He stopped purring. He's like, how dare you? But yeah, so The Witcher comes out tomorrow, which is exciting. It's the first half, so volume 1, 5 episodes out of the 8. The other 3 are going to follow on July 27th. And yeah, we've been, I think, at times hard on The Witcher. So I am really curious. I'm a huge fan of the games and the books. I'm really curious about this season. I have not watched it yet. I know people who have seen it who really like what they've seen of season 3. But yeah, Divine's got, I think, a pretty common opinion, which is I don't know if I'll be able to continue watching The Witcher after season 3. We shall see if the new actor pulls it off. And that is a question I feel like on just about everybody's mind right now is, what is The Witcher going to look like after this?
Yeah, well, it'll look like a similar show with Liam Hemsworth pretending he's Geralt of Rivia instead of Henry Cavill.
That's
some of us do have the episodes. Like, I know that you have the episodes to watch. What I'll say this, we can't say anything about what's going to happen because it's under embargo. What we've heard from some of the people in our circle who have watched the episodes already is fairly positive. People seem to be liking this of those who have seen it. That said, the embargo for reviews is literally tomorrow morning when the show comes out, which usually isn't a great sign. Usually that means the outlet or the streaming service doesn't think the reviews will be good, so they forbid people from publishing them beforehand, only once it's out. Then again, if it's really dire, they won't send screeners at all. So it's a mystery. It's a crapshoot.
Like
we'll watch it and we'll cover it next time.
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about The Witcher on next week's, or I guess is next week, July 4th. Whenever we do take the black again next, we will be talking about The Witcher. The embargo thing you mentioned is interesting. I almost feel like, so what you said is true. Usually when it is lifted when the show hits, it does usually make you kind of question exactly why. Because if studios expect it to be really good, they want people building up hype ahead of time. I think The Witcher has had a few rough runs with things like that. Like Blood Origin did let people the embargoes lifted early for Blood Origin, and it was pretty much universally panned. I could understand why Netflix might be hesitant or want to maybe play a little cautiously with this. I feel like this season, it really is like make or break for this show. Like The Witcher has something to prove this season, because, there's all this drama surrounding why Henry Cavill left and no one quite knows. There are the spinoffs, which have, Nightmare of the Wolf, a lot of people liked. I enjoyed it. Qualms. I enjoyed it, except the fact that they justified the Witcher pogrom, which is like kind of betrays the whole point of that story. But we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. But so this season of The Witcher has a lot to prove, I think, to fans who are nervous about Henry Cavill leaving after the show's kind of up and down run so far. We got an interesting quote here, Dan. Do you want to read this? You want me to read this?
I think because you're more of the expert here. Basically, I'll set it up. It's so we know Henry Cavill is leaving, and we know Liam Hemsworth is coming in. Now the question becomes, how do you sell that to people? How do you replace one actor with a different actor and convince people that this is, something that they should tolerate or wave away or kind of fit into their suspension of disbelief? And the producers have a plan. Is Daniel frozen? Let it go. Whoa.
I was frozen. I was frozen for but a moment. I'm here now. Can you hear me?
I can. Read that quote.
Anyone there? So basically we got a quote from Tomek Baginski, who is one of the executive producers on The Witcher, who weighed in on this idea of how are they going to handle changing from Henry Cavill to Liam Hemsworth in season 4. And here's what Baginski had to say. So we have a very, very good plan to introduce our new Geralt and our new vision for Geralt with Liam. Not going deeply into those ideas because this will be a huge spoiler, but it's also very, very close to the meta ideas which are deeply embedded in the books, especially in book 5. It's very lore accurate. It's very close to what was set out in the books, and I think this change will be quite flawless. But at the same time, it will be a new Geralt, it will be a new face for this character, and I think it will also be very, very exciting to see.
Nice.
So very positive, which of course they're going to be. He's not going to come in and be like, man, I don't know about it.
I would love that, though. I'd love if one time a producer just came in and said, like, we have no idea what we're doing. Oh, we're panicking so much. It's going to be so terrible.
Which, to be honest, I've got to say at this point, anytime someone connected to The Witcher comes out and is like, it's going to be very book accurate, I put my head in my hands and I'm just like, stop saying it. Like, let us see that. Stop telling us that, because so far it has just been consistently not the case. So telling us ahead of time that that's going to be the case just makes me worry more. But there's some really interesting stuff in here. So Baginski did mention it's very lore accurate. Dan, do you have any thoughts about this? Do you want me? I have thoughts about what he might mean with this, but I want to give you a chance to talk about it if you want to before I ramble.
I do not know what it could mean. I haven't read all the Witcher books. You have. You are an expert.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know that I'd go that far, but I have read them all. I'm pretty familiar with them.
I can snappily, cheekily summarize it.
Which is a skill in itself.
Oh, sure.
So in terms of the lore accuracy, we won't get into the events happening in this season. So we'll set that aside. There's a way, we have written about this on the site. You can find it about how The Witcher could potentially work it into the lore of what's in the Time of Contempt, which is the book this season is mainly adapting. But it's interesting here that Baginski says it's very close to the meta ideas which are deeply embedded in the books, especially in book 5. So if you did not know this, The Witcher is eventually going to become more of a multiverse story. Not in the sense that there will be 10 Geralts, but like world hopping and alternate realities is something that the author of The Witcher definitely plays with a lot late in the series. So it's possible that it could be in reference to that. There's also an element of narration here. So this is not an enormous spoiler because the showrunner Lauren S. Hissrich talked about this way back in the day, how her original pitch for the series had Ciri narrating this story. So it was going to be Ciri telling the story of Geralt of Rivia, which that's a reference to something that happens in book 5 that Baginski's referencing here, that people are narrating this story. So it's possible. I kind of wonder if they're going to be like, oh no, Geralt didn't look like that. So it's playing with the idea of a narrator being like, and they actually look like Liam Hemsworth, not Henry Cavill. The fact that they're saying it meta ideas makes me think they're going to pull some kind of shenanigans. I'm ready to roll my eyes, but how would you feel about that, Dan, if they kind of tried to pull a fast one and wink at the audience?
I'd much prefer that to like, you know, like literal alternate universe Geralt pops in. I've had about enough of that with all the Marvel stuff going on.
Yes. So, and they can't do that. That's not the type of multiverse this is. That would be a huge kind of... There aren't multiple Geralts in this multiverse, is what I will say.
We can find some. But yeah, if they do it as like Ciri got the details wrong, that'd be cool. Or just do it like an old-timey sitcom where just the next season, brand new guy is there. Don't mention it, don't say anything. I like the narration version, though.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Before they mention these meta ideas, so without going too deep into it, Geralt sustains an injury in this book, which has a long healing process. So my theory before this was maybe he'll drink some magic potions and it'll change him so much he'll look different. So accidental magic plastic surgery, but I kind of hope they don't go that route either. So yeah, it's still a question, but apparently it's a very, very good plan, and it will be very lore accurate, which I believe about as much as I believe. I can't think of a good quip, but I don't believe it. We'll see what happens.
I still think it'll be bad, but I'm willing to be have my mind change. So we'll watch tomorrow. It's gone tomorrow. Watch season 3.
Yeah. Yes.
Moving on. As long as we're talking about big Netflix fantasy shows, we also got the first, not official image, but the first image of filming happening on the second season of The Sandman, starring Tom Sturridge as the immortal Dream, and then some jabroni in white flowy pajamas as another character. This show was great. I really like these comics by Neil Gaiman. I like the first season a lot. I wasn't even sure they were filming because the writer's strike came on like a couple of months ago now. I didn't know what they had written, but apparently they've written enough to film some stuff. Oh, because they're going like episode at a time, I think. They're not like doing a full second season or whatever they're doing. I'm not exactly sure. Like they're doing it in chunks. And it's just good to see them back in action because I really, really liked this show. And this might be Orpheus. Oh, sorry, Morpheus. I just realized this might be Dream.
Isn't Dream Morpheus?
Known as Morpheus, and his son Orpheus. From Greek myth.
That's fun.
Morpheus named his son Orpheus. That's weird.
That's the most realistic thing about this show so far.
But I mean, you know, he has so many names. Maybe the mother did it. There is a plot involving his son. That could be an angel. There's possibly angel. There's a lot of the Sandman is pretty wild and crazy. He deals with angels. He deals with Greek myth. He deals with the far future. He deals with the afterlife. Yada yada yada. It's hard to know, but I do like them in black and white, flowy, fun costumes. I bet those really breathe nicely.
Yeah, I think it is interesting knowing that they're filming, and with another show, I might worry more because, like you said, the Sandman, there's no guarantee that they're going to do a regular second season. They may release episodes at a time.
Sure.
It seems like they're kind of trying to play with their release format, which feels right for a show like the Sandman.
Yeah.
But it does make me nervous knowing they're filming and like Neil Gaiman's probably not there. Like it does make me wonder what the status of the scripts was for Sandman that it is going into filming, because Neil Gaiman is pretty forward. Like when he can talk about stuff with his fans, he usually does.
He likes
and
to
he hasn't really
up.
said anything. Yeah, he hasn't really said anything about the status of the scripts for Sandman season 2. So I really hope Netflix isn't just like barreling on ahead without his blessing. Like I'm nervous about it, but I want more Sandman, so
I think it'll be okay. But yeah, the writer's strike is over 2 months old at this point, and I think we'll know very soon whether the actors are going to strike in solidarity. So we just keep hoping it'll end.
It's looking more likely.
I think we're all tired of it because we want things to keep going. And but then again,
writers.
I mean, can't we? Is it fair to give good pay and job and security to writers when there are out of work robots who could be writing scripts instead? That is something we could. It
sounds like,
and they're willing to work for very little money.
Need to spend a few years honing their craft, maybe a decade or two, so that they can justify these pay rates. And until then, yeah, let's keep paying writers.
Okay, fine.
The couple of interesting things about this that broke in the past day or two. So
the strike?
I don't think we have this in our lightning rounds. The thing about the actors signing a letter.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Right. So like I think upwards of like 300 actors signed an open letter basically saying if a vote is called to strike, they want to strike. And it's like Meryl Streep and
Olivia Cook from House of the Dragon. Yeah.
Olivia Cook. So a whole bunch of people. I think Jennifer Lawrence is in there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And I think that's next month. So next month the strike may move into a different phase. And kind of illustrating why this is necessary. I don't know if you saw this, Dan. There is a new report circling around that the guy who made Squid Game, Netflix has increased their value over 900 million because of Squid Game alone.
That show is crazy.
And that writer basically gets no residuals for that show and signed over all of the intellectual property rights, which is why they're doing the reality show. So yeah, they basically screwed that writer real bad, and they are not making a lot of money, and Netflix has made almost $1 billion because of it. So but
they got a great show out of it.
Point.
Also, I'll note, like, good things can come out of writer strikes. Like last time, the networks had to turn to reality television, and you know what they did? They made a star out of a little person named Donald Trump and The Apprentice.
Oh, why is this my heart just
so the last writer strike made Donald Trump a big TV star, and there's a lot of rumors that the only reason he ran for president was because he wanted to raise his profile to get another TV deal, and then he actually won and it became a whole thing, but which he wasn't to do. So in a way, the last writer's strike gave us Donald Trump. What gold might this one give us?
Wow.
Not even a chance.
The AMPTP would be so proud of the argument you just made. They'd be like, yes, get that guy. We need to put him on all of our channels. But yeah, I mean, things get dirty and messy in something like this. It's super necessary, obviously, as the Squid Game thing illustrates why it's necessary, because that dude labored over that show for 10 years.
Yeah.
And basically doesn't have even the rights to it anymore. And isn't really getting paid accordingly. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well,
yeah. Well, I hope, but there aren't details about any renegotiations quite yet, I don't think. But that's the gist of what's up in Westeros, what's up on the continent, and what that dream guy in his pajamas is getting up to.
The dreaming.
Should we talk about the dreaming?
In the dreaming.
Yes.
Place name. And on our real world.
Oh,
in the writer's world.
What Dream is doing in the dreaming in his dreamy pajama pants.
It's a flowy, cool, manly robe. But yeah, that's all of it. What are you watching, Daniel? Anything new? What are you all watching out there? We want to know. We want to hear from you. Call in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, just sorry, really quick. Hi, Julie. Happy 5:30 a.m.
Yes. Good to see you, Julie. Yeah, so there's a ton of TV right now. It's hard to keep up with it all. Really the main one so I watched the first episode of Secret Invasion. I still need to watch the second. That's fine. Felt surprising. I thought that your headline for your review of the second episode, which you can read today on Winter's Coming, summed up how I feel about this show perfectly, which is it's hard to get excited about it. I expected to be really excited about Secret Invasion, and I watched the premiere and just felt like profoundly meh. And I don't really know why that is. Like, the actors in it are great. It just feels like it's trying way too hard to be this serious, heavy thing, and it's not quite pulling it off. There's one scene where Samuel L. Jackson is kind of like interrogating someone, and it almost felt like the PG version of his very famous Pulp Fiction scene, where he's like interrogating people at the beginning of the movie with the cheeseburger. Like, it felt like Disney was like, yes, let's do that, but we're Disney, so we'll dial it down to like 2. Yeah, so I have really conflicted feelings. I mean, Emilia Clarke is always very watchable. Yeah. She's just an excellent actor. But the show itself is just not really hooking me.
I feel you.
I also think the intro looks like garbage. I like the intro. I thought it looked neat. I thought it looked uncanny. The composition. And fun, I mean, like, the literal like text on it is not very well composed. It's like it kind of blends into it a little bit more than you would see with a normal. Well, the credits, the opening credits. The credits don't pop off it as much as they would on something that is meticulously created by a human.
I don't even remember the credits. I just looked at the pictures.
There you go.
Which might say there something.
You go. So yeah, so Secret Invasion, jury is kind of out on. You've been watching it, right? What's your opinion?
I mean, you just quoted my opinion from my review. Wonderscoming.net.
I did.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not terribly exciting, but it's fine. And Marvel fatigue is real. And if I were in charge of Disney, I would hold off all projects except unless you had something that really, really, really excited you. They're not going to do it. They got to keep cranking this stuff out. It's fine. It's fine. Olivia Colman does cut off a guy's finger in the new one, the one from today. Ooh. That felt more exciting. It's an alien finger.
Yeah.
But that was pretty intense. She's having a good time. I do like Olivia Colman on that thing. She has a torture scene.
She seems like she's having a great time.
And by the way, the message of Olivia Colman's torture scene from the new one, torture works. Sometimes torture simply works. And I walked away from that thinking, like,
I could see her playing a scene like that well.
Do you want to send that message, Disney? I don't know. Because the guy cracks and gives him everything.
DeSantis is suddenly like, you know what? Disney's not so bad.
Yeah, maybe M&M. It's fine. Are you watching Outlander, Daniel? Because Julie's watching it. She thinks it's fantastic.
I haven't started Outlander. Julie, that's great to hear.
New season.
I plan on watching it. I need to get caught up on the last couple of season 6. But I'm looking forward to it. This seems like a really big season for Outlander. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that show, more excited than I have been in a while. So that is really good to hear. I'm excited for The Walking Dead City too. That's been getting really good reviews. It seems like people really like it. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely going to be giving that one a chance at some point.
Good. I'm glad. Okay, now it's the moment where I stump the show called Warrior, which is this historical drama, like martial arts drama set in.
Tell me why we're missing out.
Post-Civil War, San Francisco. It's coming back to Max, I think tomorrow or Friday. It's so good. Season 3. It's a really exciting, again, martial arts action drama. Great cast, great story, great action scenes. It's not widely seen. That should change. Watch Warrior. Season 3 drops on Max this Friday or Saturday, somewhere in that range. This weekend. Happy 4th of July.
Cool.
Kapow.
Yeah, you've talked up Warrior quite a lot. So
I'm looking forward to it
you have made me very curious.
I also saw last night I watched A Tale of Two Topas from the Orville, finally. I did cry. So
what'd you think?
Good. I cried.
Good.
You're right.
Mission
it was
accomplished.
very, very good. It was very good. It was very moving. Great family drama in space. I also watched Asteroid City, the movie from Wes Anderson, which is very fun, which had an alien in it, so it is sci-fi. Although it counts. It was really cute. It was like the movie is about all these people who are gathered for like kind of like a stargazing event in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And halfway through, they're visited by an actual alien, which is not set up at all, just kind of comes down. And it's done in a very Wes Anderson way, where the alien is very kind of weird and endearing and kind of awkward in a cute sort of way. It was good. It was cute. If you like Wes Anderson and his diorama-loving, stilted framing, awkward talking thing, it was a good one. One of his better recent ones. You watched anything new recently, Daniel?
Yeah, so I've also been watching Silo, which has its finale on.
Hello.
And yeah, I am comfortably in the camp now to preach the gospel of Silo, because I think it is pretty good. It was kind of an odd juxtaposition for me to watch episode 9 of Silo and then flip to Secret Invasion like a day later, because Silo is just like safely in a different league than the Marvel stuff on Disney Plus. I think it is one of Apple TV's, it's probably like one of their best sci-fi shows that they've done.
I should watch it.
Sometimes the jargon can sound a little goofy, because like it's these 10,000 people, like the last of humanity, in this giant underground bunker where they're unraveling that things aren't what they seem. Ooh. But they refer to like the different levels as like the up top and the down deep and stuff like it. So like the terminology can get a little silly. But the show itself is really good, and Rebecca Ferguson, who plays the main character Juliet, that's Paul Atreides' mom, Lady Jessica from Dune. She is amazing. She had a scene in one of the recent episodes with Ian Glenn, Jorah Mormont, that I was like, oh wow, this show can do a scene like this. Like it is pretty damn good. So yeah, Silo's been great. Beyond that, I've been watching Star Wars Rebels. My partner turned me on to that this week. Yeah, to get ready for Ahsoka. And I've got to say, my excitement for Ahsoka went from like middling to like now it's a lot higher, because it really seems like it is just a continuation of Rebels. It's got most of the same characters.
I will say this, like Ahsoka is the TV show Dave Filoni actually wanted to make when they told him you can do live action Star Wars stuff. He like got through this other stuff. He made a Boba Fett show or saw one or whatever. He made The Mandalorian, which was like accidentally great, and then squandered it. And now he's like, okay, now we get down to business. We're going to do my thing that I actually wanted to do. So hopefully he'll have poured himself into this one.
Yeah, and you can really see that in Rebels, because honestly, some of the episodes of Rebels are so good that it's like, I wish this was like these sorts of stories they were doing in live action. Not that, I mean, the animation has held up because it's stylized in such a way that it's like, just looks like older animation, but it still holds its own in its style well. And it's relatively well written for a kid's Saturday morning cartoon. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun. Beyond that, I think the only other media I've been consuming was I've been reading this martial arts science fantasy book called The Combat Codes, which is like fantasy sci-fi meets Rocky, and it's pretty fun. Good. It's got some great fight scenes. By Alexander Darwin. Cool. But yeah, have you been reading anything else? Dan?
I just said a bunch of stuff. I'm watching Asteroid City, all that stuff. The Idols. Actually, I stopped watching The Idol. It's too bad. HBO really with that one. They should have aired that on Mondays a while ago and aired the second season of Perry Mason now, because that was way better. I don't care if the weekend wasn't in it. It was a good show, and now it's canceled, and that's sad. But no, I'm done. Robert Harris is watching Silo, likes it. Different than the book, but the changes apparently make for better TV.
Cool. That, I haven't read the Silo books. I've kind of always meant to. I'm sure I will at some point now. I'm not too surprised to hear they changed it, because I don't know how familiar you are, Robert, with like how those books got published, but they were like serialized. So Hugh Howey, the author, self-published sections of the first book as like a serialized story, and then they got collected and made into wool. So I'm not surprised at all to hear that they made changes to it, but the show seems pretty good. So, it's always a question where it's like, you don't know the book, so you can't get mad about it. Like Foundation's like that. Everyone I know who has watched Foundation, who has read the book, is like, oh my God, this is awful. But I don't know one way or the other. I don't have an opinion on Foundation yet.
I mean, I didn't read the book, and I thought it was pretty lame.
Yeah, so that's.
But I'm
that's
a bit
fair.
of a cynical-hearted bastard, so I think a lot of things are lame.
Yeah. And Andrew, I will say, because Andrew just said I watched the first episode of Silo on Twitter, which you watched it on Twitter. That is crazy to think of watching a video that long there. But if it
you
takes
have
a little
blue
while to
check
get
mark,
into,
you can upload
bear
like
with
2.5
because it
hours.
took me a couple episodes. That is a lot of video for
it's
an
a real
app
problem.
that I used to have to type like 200 characters on. Is it a real problem though?
Because folk are like leaking whole movies, and then it's like, and the studios are coming down on them. It's kind of like my properties. Like, and Elon fired all the quality assurance folk, so it's not being caught for like hours. Folk are watching the entirety of The Flash, and so he goes like, "Oh, we lost billions of dollars." Like, no, you didn't. You weren't going to see that anyway. Also, I just have to mention that this morning we can't say anything, but you interviewed some actors from The Wheel of Time, which has a second season coming up in the near future. That's about all we can say, I think. But
yeah, that is about all we can say. I didn't even know if we could say that, but I've seen the actors posting on social media saying that they had a press junket today. So yes, we were there for that, which is very exciting. Very excited for The Wheel of Time season 2 and for you all to see it. So yeah, that's September 1st. It's very exciting that that's coming up. I've missed that show.
Yeah, looking forward to it as well. Anyway, should we move on to the final segment? I'm the WiC News Lightning Round. Also, I'm sorry if I blew your Wheel of Time cover there. I did not mean to. I'm just excited.
You didn't. No,
okay,
Madeline, the actor who plays Egwene blew the cover. I was like, is it okay for people to be saying there was a press junket? But I saw her social media post about it. So I was like, all right, she put it out there. We can at least say it's a thing that happened at this point.
Okay, just in case, but everyone watching, just don't tell Uncle Jeff that we talk about this.
This is a secret between you and us and the internet.
Yeah, and we'll just move on to lightning round like nothing happened. As per usual, yada yada yada. Didn't put this in order. Yada yada yada. We'll see what happens. Yada yada yada. Daniel, why don't you start us off?
All right. So David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan are officially cast as Clark Kent and Lois Lane in Superman Legacy.
Yeah, your next Clark Kent and Lois Lane. Never heard of David Corenswet. I'm not sure what people have, but Rachel Brosnahan, the marvelous Mrs. Maiselstar. She's great in that.
Yeah,
I can totally see her as a motor mouth reporter in Metropolis. So I think that's great casting.
Perfect.
The Corenswet guy looks like Superman. So yeah, rock on. Whether you like it or not, here it comes. All right, Dan, it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
We got some behind the scenes images from the Daryl Dixon Walking Dead spinoff. Carol's in the show after all. Melissa McBride, the actress, was there along with Norman Reedus. When apparently before we thought she wasn't going to be in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still called The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. What I heard was that she might be joining for a second season. We don't know the details of how she's joining, but we do know she's going to be involved in it. There are pictures on set the actor who plays Negan was sharing them and kind of razzing people for giving Norman Reedus such a hard time because everyone assumed he, for some reason, drove Melissa McBride away, which was ridiculous. But yeah, so Carol's still around, fighting zombies. And okay, so here's an actor who is not going to come back to their super large, successful franchise. Daniel Radcliffe does not think he'll cameo in the new Harry Potter series that Max is making.
On Max. Yeah, I mean, that's the classy move. I'm sure they'd want to cast him as like Professor Whoozle-Whatsits or something, or adult member. I respect the House of the Dragon for not doing any egregious cameos or fan service to Game of Thrones, and I'd respect the new Max series if, like, you know, Emma Watson didn't play Pinky the House Elf or whatever. So hope that happens. Then again, they're
same.
Okay. I'll just move on. By the way, that's pretty funny, Julie. I like your comment. Damn, Uncle Jeff was coming around for dinner tonight too. Haha. Daniel, Sony has removed. Okay, so apparently, noted musician and rapper Bad Bunny was going to be in one of those Spider-Man villain spin-off movies, El Muerto, but no more. Sony took off a schedule. How big a Bad Bunny stan are you?
I did not know who that was before this announcement. So either to Bad Bunny or El Muerto, who is a very deep cut Spider-Man villain. So this is apparently due partially to the strike, partially to Bad Bunny's touring schedule. They just kept having to postpone it, so they took it off. And that doesn't mean it's canceled. It just means it's kind of in a weird development hell. I'm not too surprised or sad about it, honestly.
How about the next one? You skip it so I can ask you the one that you're going to have an expertise in.
Okay. So Paramount Plus canceled Star Trek Prodigy ahead of a planned second season, and it pulled it off Paramount Plus.
Yes, they did. They pulled off a bunch of shows off Paramount Plus, not just this one. Star Trek Prodigy is one of like 80 Star Trek shows, an animated one. It's more for kids. It's got Kate Mulgrew back as Captain Janeway. And it's gone. It's over. They said they're gonna have a second season, but not going to now. Although they might try to get like more TV, like another season on another network. It's so interesting right now, but I can't say why because I'm about to shut it off. But yeah, it's gone. All right, Daniel. You are a subject matter expert here. Daniel, Natasha O'Keefe will play Lanfear in the upcoming second season of The Wheel of Time. Daniel, who does woman?
Yeah, so we knew Natasha O'Keefe was in the series, but Wheel of Time fan site noticed that her acting agency had updated her resume to say she's playing Lanfear. So now we know who she's playing, and Lanfear is an immortal Forsaken, so basically a very strong, powerful sorceress.
Sounds wicked.
Working for the Dark One. So yeah, cool to know who she's playing in the show. That's very exciting. That's a very, very important character for the overall series.
Remember that.
All right. So, this is fun. Kudos, Mr. Bale. Kudos. So according to Kevin Smith, renowned nerd, Christian Bale refused to cameo in The Flash, which has copious Batman cameos. Christian said no.
There are like 3 Batman in that thing. George Clooney, Michael Keaton,
a lot of
and
Batman.
Ben Affleck. Christian Bale said no. He's like, I won't do it. Because he has, I don't know, integrity or whatever. You put it's whatever. I don't think it really applies here. I don't think it's that big a deal. So they got Clooney instead for this little cameo. I mean, whatever. That's nice for him. I don't see what he gains by saying no. Yes, I don't think it's about. I don't want to praise him too hard for having
self-respect.
So you won't appear in like a little Batman thing. What does it do with self-respect? But that's just the story. I'm sticking to it. And finally, Daniel, the TV show Warrior Nun, which is on Netflix, fantasy show about like a nun who fights demons, canceled after season 2. Fans freaked out, had a campaign to save it. It's coming back to somewhere.
Yeah, so that's exciting. Congrats to the Warrior Nun fans. They had a whole big campaign to try to save this show. It had a lot of people who really enjoyed it, and then Netflix pulled the plug on it, as it often does. we don't know where it's coming back. We don't know when it's coming back. We don't know how, but the creator said it is coming back. So, yeah, happy day for the Warrior Nun fans. There will be, I guess, a revival of the show.
More Warriors,
know the deets.
More Nuns. Yes, Robert's coming back. It was
Warrior,
popular.
2 Nun.
2 Warrior, 2 Nun. Robert's a fan. It's coming back. Good for it. The fans really went to bat for it. They like bought a billboard across the street from Netflix's headquarters because they wanted to bring it back so badly, and it worked. Although again, it could come back from Netflix, it could go to Max. It could be a movie for all we know. So no details yet, but it's coming back. Good for the fans. Always have to see a good, nice fan success story. And folk, that's our show for this Wednesday. Join us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. CST or 5 a.m. Australia time, if you're so inclined, to watch us talk about fantasy, sci-fi, movies, TV, anything under the sun, skies. We're also available in podcast form wherever podcasts are available, be it iTunes, Google Play, or elsewhere. Although I will say right now, next week, Wednesday, the plan is right now to be off for the 4th of July weekend. So we will not be doing a show next Wednesday, taking a break, letting this puppy heal up a little bit, and then we'll be back the week after that. But we will return. Before we go, I'll just say that if any of you happen to get that being an extra on House of the Dragon Season 2 opportunity, and you're looking for a guest to bring, I would do it for you if I got it. So keep that in mind. And goodbye.
Take care, y'all.